Do you live or know someone who lives in the Denver metro area that needs heating or air conditioning services? Tell them the Be Heat and AC is the company to call, because we are the only company that comes out for free for all first-time customers. And if you want a second opinion for any of our advice, we send out the competition at our expense. We pay their service call up to $69. That's right, we pay their service call for you to get a second opinion. And if you enjoyed the content in this video, please guys, for the algorithm, like this video, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel so that we can keep bringing you daily and weekly HVAC content that's pertinent for you, so you can have a more comfortable, fulfilling life.
I wonder why it's shutting off so quick though. I can't even get in here to work though. Give me another match, Dylan.
Yeah, I gotcha.
It's not lighting.
I got nothing.
Is it lit?
No.
Oh, it went out?
Yeah.
Honestly, Russell's a clown. I really can't stand that guy, and I don't know how much longer he's gonna last at this place. You know, Russell is one of the guys, he was one of the few techs that we hired that was actually skilled. He didn't start as an apprentice. He actually brought a wealth of knowledge. And he started with me very early in the company when we were a lot less stable. And I really like Russell. I don't take for granted his, you know, his loyalty. There was a time in the company where you know, a true test of someone's character is how they handle adversity. And we were in a very tight transitional period where we were as a company. I had a significant amount of debt. I was kind of learning how to run a company by the numbers. And when Russell started with us, I mean, at one point in time, he was, you know, the guys, and Sam was there for this too, but there was times when the guys would hold their paychecks for me until Monday or the following Wednesday or something if we were waiting on checks to come in, or we had a lot of bills, or it was the slow season especially. And Russell, one time, he held his check for, I think it was 5 or 6 weeks. And I was trying to sell my motorcycle at the same time. I had a Ducati Hypermotard. I love that thing. And, but you know, you've got to have I had my priorities straight. And so I had the thing listed on Craigslist, and I finally had someone buy it, and was able to, you know, pay the past month of checks that I owed him. And so he's a solid dude. I never forget him for you know, helping us in that really hard time. And he's really easygoing. He just wanted to work for a company that, you know, valued him and his time, and gave him a work environment that he enjoyed.
I wonder why it's shutting off so quick though. I can't even get in here to work though. Give me another match, Dylan.
Yeah, I gotcha.
It's not lighting. That off so don't get me.
I got nothing.
Is it lit?
No.
Oh, it went out?
Yeah.
Or not.
Alright, so we found upon arrival that the furnace is a hazard. It's actually shooting flames about 2 feet outside of the furnace, and it actually has no clearance. There's a water heater that's about 3 inches in front of the furnace, which is not acceptable for code. And then there's no way to actually service the furnace itself anyway, with no space to be able to, you know, check anything or service the equipment. And then we did find a lot of rust in the like just looking through with my camera, because that's the only way I was actually able to see. We found a lot of visible rust on the heat exchanger, which usually indicates it's time to replace it. The furnace was from 1965. It's currently 2022, so it's definitely time. But what we'll have to do is we'll have to actually get him to take out that wall so where we can turn the furnace and, you know, put a door in front of it to where it'll have a proper clearance. We'll have to update some code stuff. We'll have to put a drip leg on the gas, ball valve shut off, and then we'll also have to update the exhaust to double wall because it doesn't currently qualify with the clearance to be able to pass code or inspection. And then you're gonna have to turn, they're cutting the wall down today, but you're gonna have to turn the furnace to where it's facing like the hallway, because right now it's like in front of a water heater with like 3 inches of clearance. Yeah, turn it towards the hallway. You'll see when you get there. It's all pretty self-explanatory. I just wanted to let you know. You're gonna bring in a return plenum, or not a return plenum, a filter box, and then put the filter box in, and that way you don't have to do like a big transition. Bring some sheet metal though. Yeah, it's in a closet, and like the return's under in the crawl space and the supply's above. You'll see.
Have sheet metal and start changing out the gas metal. So right now we're hooking up the electrical. Right there. So right now we're hooking up the electrical, just because once we have the furnace set in place, we're not gonna have that much access to the electrical, and then we're gonna set the furnace in place, and then finish the rest. So we got to do the transition, exhaust, low voltage. Yeah. Today we installed a downflow furnace. They're not as common as upflow. We know it's a downflow because the blower motor is on top of the furnace. So the return's going to be up here. Supply is going to be beneath the furnace through the cross space. We went ahead and added a drip leg just because there wasn't an existing drip leg, also known as a sediment trap. This job's getting inspected, so that's something the inspector's going to want to see. So right now we're just finishing up the transition. Then we're going to go ahead and do the exhaust. We're going to update this to double wall exhaust. Yeah, so this job hasn't been too bad. This transition's taken a while. It's just a larger transition that we typically do. This job's just, you know, more out of the way, so going to the parts house is kind of a commute. But yeah, not the worst job. So this is called a manometer. So it measures inches of water column. It also measures bar. I mean, we don't use those scales. Typically we use inches of water column, PSI. But basically it's going to measure the gas pressure. Since this is a propane, so propane heats the house. We had to change out the orifices and change out the spring. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. Once we start it up, I'll be able to see what the pressure is, and then I'll be able to adjust it to what the proper pressure should be. So we're calling for heat right now. I'm just going to start in the low stage. That's what our board's telling us right there. So it's going to go through the sequence of operation, and inducer's going to kick on. It's going to close the pressure switch. After all those safety checks are complete, the gas valve is going to open up. So right now we're reading 0. Once the hot service igniter lights up, as it's lighting up right now, the gas valve will open up, and then we should see some gas pressure right here. So there's air in the line, so sometimes it's going to short cycle like this on initial startup. Startup, the gas pressure is kind of high in the low stage. It's about 8. We want it to be at around 6 inches of water column. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust that. With a furnace install, so I've been here all day. Yeah, so furnace, this is the B-vent exhaust that we updated with the code. We added that drip leg, just something the inspector's going to want to see. Power switch, and then, so to change the filter, so we added a filter door right here, so we just slide it, and then the filter just goes in right here. Okay. And then, did you see the thermostat yet at all?
I mean, I just looked at it a little bit.
So it's pretty simple to use. So plus sign, increase temperature, minus sign, decrease the temperature. Top numbers are target temperature, and then bottoms are the current ambient. Cancel. So when you go back to the mode, so typically you're gonna have it be in the off, or in the heat mode. If you go to cool, it's not gonna do anything. Well, we'll just keep it at heat for right now. What temperature do you usually like to keep it at?
Let's start at 68 and see how it runs it.
So it's 68 right now, so it'll turn off.
Turn off here.
So 68, yeah.
Like my propane tank is empty.
Okay.
So I'm on like a 20-pound tanker or 20-pound bottle until they can come back out and fill it up.
Yeah.
So when that thing runs out,
yeah,
I'm gonna bottle up. Is it gonna fire up on its own? Like, I don't need to do anything.
No, it shouldn't. So it might not start up on when you first call for heat, just because there's gonna be air in the lines. But it'll retry and then it'll start up. Perfect. So, but if anything, if it tries and it doesn't, and you know you have propane in it, just turn the power off, the switch, and then turn it back on, and then that'll reset it.
Okay.
So. Cool. All right, guys. So today we did an install up here in Evergreen. We did a downflow furnace, and we did a conversion kit to propane. Install went pretty smooth. It's about 6 p.m. right now. Just wrapping up.